Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host James Egan. Today we'll be looking at the 30th President of the United States, Calvin Coolidge, who has, without a shadow of a doubt, the most limited expressions I've ever seen on a face ever. I promise you that each of these pictures are actually different pictures. They're not just the same picture. Okay, this guy had enough animals to open his own pet store. His dogs were called Rob Roy, Prudence Prim, Peter Pan, Calamity Kane, Tiny Tim, Blackberry, Ruby, Boston Beans, King Cole, and Palo Alto. He also had raccoons called Rebecca and Horace, canaries called Nip and Tuck, a donkey called Ebenezer, a goose called Enoch, and 2 lion cubs called Budget Bureau and Tax Reduction. That's a really weird thing to shout out if you do something wrong. Calvin is the only president born on the 4th of July. He's also the only president to be sworn in by his father. He wore a hat while shaving. Okay. Calvin was sworn in suddenly because of Harding's premature death. Since it was in the middle of the night, he was sworn in by lamplight. He once said, "Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent." I don't think you're ever going to meet a human being that's going to disagree with that. Sometimes he would hide from the Secret Service so they would assume he was kidnapped. I'll assume that they appreciated that. They're like, "Oh, Coolidge, such a joker, wasting taxpayers' money. Ooh, skip." He was so quiet, he was nicknamed Silent Cal. Okay, this one I love. At a party, the hostess told Coolidge that she'd bet her friend she could get 3 words out of him. He hissed at her and said, "You lose." His campaign slogan was, "Keep cool with Coolidge." Despite his quiet demeanor, he was an incredible public speaker. He considered himself laconic, which meant that he would only speak when he felt like he needed to. He was the first president to appear in a sound film on August 11th, 1924. It was called President Coolidge Taken on the White House Grounds.
Country needs every ounce of its energy to restore itself. The costs of government are all assessed upon the people.
He gave 529 press conferences, more than any president in history. He was the first president whose speech to Congress was aired on radio. He was known as the president between wars, as World War I just ended and World War II began after his presidency. He didn't attempt to run for another term, as he found the job too stressful and he was still grief-stricken from his father's death. He was the only living president to have his likeness printed onto coins. He appeared on the 1926 half dollar. He died from a blood clot in the heart. Calvin was so quiet and shy that when it was announced that he died, critic and satirist Dorothy Parker asked, "How can they tell?" Bit mean. His last recorded words were, "I feel I no longer fit in with these times." I just realized I did this entire video without my lights. I have embarrassed myself. Special thanks to these fine people for all their help. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks for watching. See you again.